All right. Want to start this cookie, puppy?
Oh,
Pendant?
why not?
I don't have a rundown. I didn't send you anything.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Going live in 5. Oh,
Dodgers suck. Dodgers suck. Oh, man. I love it when a plan comes together.
We are chanting the Braves chant because they
totally no racist.
Right.
No racist. It's fine.
They just beat the Dodgers, and Brandon's nemesis has been eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't do a back-to-back Dodger World Series reign like that. I would burst into flames.
That would be bad.
And by burst, I mean I would light myself on fire. I don't want to live
At least
in
the
that
firemen
world.
would have something to do.
That's true. But then, they'd have to wake up. They'd have to drive
Put
out
down their
here.
weights.
They'd have to stage until the scene is
Right,
secure,
yeah.
and then they could put me out.
I'm Mike Marrazzo. That's Brandon Silveira over by there, over on the West Coast. Party boy Brandon Silveira.
That is what it says. Heck
He
yeah,
can't
man.
stop having parties. He had another party today.
Can't stop, won't stop.
And he's partying again right
Yeah.
now because the Braves just beat the Dodgers.
And then guess what? I'm going to party again next week for the
Gonna
2-year-old.
party like it's 1999. That's a Prince song.
God.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Were you alive? Oh, wait, you had to be like,
Yes.
were you 10? No, were you 11?
What, during 2000?
1999.
In 99, I was 12.
Okay. All right.
I actually flew like right around the Y2K stuff.
You flew what? Planes?
Well, I mean, I was in an airplane around the Y2K stuff.
Like on New Year's Eve, you were in an airplane.
New Year's Day.
Okay. Well, it wasn't going to happen New Year's Day. It was going to happen at midnight on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, you try having a 12-year-old reason that out.
I still have about a 200-foot roll of Visqueen plastic that we bought with a case of duct tape because of the whatever was going to happen on Y2K.
All the computers
Everyone
were
had to
reset,
have plastic.
man.
What were
Skynet was going to activate. It was going to be
I
the
don't
end
know
of the
what we were
world.
going to do with the plastic or what we were going to put it on. I don't know.
I think it was just for when everyone had lost all hope, you were just going to wrap it around your face and then duct tape it on there and just be like,
I
I'm
thought
done.
it was for when you do interviews when your henchmen don't do the job right and they come in your office and they stand on the plastic and they go, What's with the plastic on the phone? You go, I'm just redecorating. And then the next guy comes in and he looks on the ground to make sure there's no plastic on the floor. Is that Lethal Weapon?
I think it's been several different movies.
Have you seen Cold Pursuit with Liam Neeson?
I haven't. I've seen it advertised recently on, I think it was Netflix.
Okay.
I remember thinking to myself, I wonder if this is worth watching.
I went to the theater. My father-in-law and my brother-in-laws, uncle-in-laws, we go to a movie like every 6 weeks. Dinner and a movie. And we went to go see that. And we have our Uncle Dave, he's like 85. And he used to like the action movies, but now we take him to see John Wick and he'll start grimacing and he gets physically ill with all the blood and stuff now. So it's getting bad. But we went to go see Cold Pursuit, and I got to tell you, I don't know what the hell kind of reaction I had when I watched the movie for the first time. I was like, man, I don't know. It's not great. And now I've seen it 4 more times.
It's just not
and
good.
I love the movie. I think I was in the wrong.
Yeah. Really?
I was in the wrong mind.
Wrong frame of mind?
And it's like the very first time I saw Fargo, the movie, not the TV show, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
Kim and I rented it, and we're watching it, and they're looking in the window when they come to kidnap the wife, right? They're looking in the window. She sees them. She doesn't know what to do. They're trying to get in. And that whole scene where they're trying to kidnap her, and she's hiding in the shower behind the shower curtain, and she comes out. She's wrapped in the shower curtain. She falls down the stairs. I wanted to laugh so hard, and I'm like, I don't know, man. This is really serious. I'm looking at Kim. I'm like, are we supposed to be laughing right now? Because this is fucking funny.
Is this the comedic part? Because
yeah, is this
funny.
a dark comedy? So I had to rewatch it, knowing that it's okay to laugh because it was a dark comedy. You know, especially Steve Buscemi. He shot me in the fucking face. You know.
Yeah.
But so anyways,
well, it's like it's like Pulp Fiction. Like I think that's low key a dark comedy.
there are a
Like
few.
I know that's not Tarantino's
Right.
deal, but that movie is low key funny as hell.
There are some funny things in there. Yeah. I love that movie.
And it's particularly between John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson.
I wish I had the soundbite that Samuel L. Jackson always says. Say what again?
Say what again?
I want to play that on calls. I'm just going to push a button on my phone. Say what again? So I'm looking at my phone because I wanted to see the final score. And the Bulls played today. And I just see, holy shit,
Doubles.
Illinois, ILL, they beat Penn State 20-18.
In 9 overtime.
Holy shit.
That got really hard to watch.
I saw the final 9 OT. I'm like, no. Wow.
So I was watching. Oh God, what game was I watching? Well, it doesn't matter. I turned it off and switched over to that when I saw it was in like the 4th or 5th overtime, and they had just switched to like alternating 2-point conversions. Okay. And for some reason, Illinois, the Illini, that had like over 300 yards rushing on the day,
awesome, decided
that they should become a drop back and pass team from the 3-yard line for like, I'm not kidding you, like 6 of the overtime periods.
Really? Maybe they had to switch it up. It worked. Something worked.
When they finally said, you know what, we should run it. We were doing really well when we ran the ball.
This is Brett Bielema's biggest win as a head coach of the Illini. I think it's his first win. I don't really know.
That's not setting the bar very high.
Well, it's Illini football. We don't really have a high bar there. And I see my favorite. Sorry, Illinois is my favorite Big Ten team. I've been an Illinois fan since Tony Eason back in the 80s and Jeff George.
Is this one of those things where you even have multiple favorite Big Ten teams?
Yes, because let me tell you. I have to tell you.
No. You got to pick. Gun to head, you got to pick
it's
one.
Illinois, but my adopted team.
Then that's your favorite team.
My adopted team is Michigan, because one of my best friends, his father was a professor at U of M. I would go up there every year for a Michigan game.
Yeah.
One of the greatest games was the Michigan
I'm
Illinois
a Notre Dame fan.
6th overtime game up in Ann Arbor that Illinois won.
No, you're not allowed to like Michigan because I'm a Notre Dame fan.
Notre Dame sucks. That's our our second. Notre Dame gets way too much press here in Chicagoland area.
Notre Dame gets way too much press, period. Okay, let's be honest.
They do.
They are the kings of like playing teams that are just good enough to make it seem like they're a really good team, and they trick the people that vote on these rankings, and then they play a team like Alabama. It's like, oh yeah, you're not there.
No.
You're not that.
That's what you get when you're not in the conference. You can't hang with the big conference boys.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like me saying like, oh, you know what? I'm a Giants fan, but you know who else I really like?
You can do that.
The Padres. No, that's not no.
You know who else I really
like? Sacrilege
in the NFL. So the Colts used to be like my third favorite team because of Jim Harbaugh and Tony Eason. No, not Tony Eason. Jeff George.
You know who else I like? Pretty much every team in the NFL. I can't think of one that I don't like, except for maybe the Jaguars.
I used to like the Jaguars when Mark Brunell was there, and they had Keenan McCardell.
Well, everyone liked the Jaguars when Mark Brunell was the quarterback because they were always like they were like the lovable losers. They could like get almost there, and then they just fall apart in the AFC.
One of my new favorite AFC teams are the Bills.
I like the Bills because Josh Allen is from Fireball.
I like Josh Allen. I also enjoyed beating the crap out of the Bills in Super Bowls when the Cowboys were pounding on them. But it was fun to watch Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and all those guys.
Everyone that's played the Bills in the Super Bowl has beat the shit out of them. Okay, let's be honest.
The Giants didn't in that first one. They only beat them by
wide right.
That was the closest the Bills got to winning a Super Bowl. It was all downhill from there. So, Brandon, Oh,
I think somebody's trying to steal a car.
outside?
I hope that's not my car.
Yeah,
Hold
go
on.
check. We'll be right back after this message. Brandon is going to see if someone's stealing his car.
No, it's my neighbor's car, but there's nobody out
All
there.
right, I was just going to watch some Bulls highlights. 3-0, Chicago Bulls.
I don't know
New
if
team.
that horn was coming through my
I
microphone. or
heard
not,
very little bit.
but okay.
That's all right.
I'm trying to turn the volume up on it without turning the gain
No,
up.
it's perfect. You actually sound
Okay.
nice and loud. Hopefully, it translates to the video portion because it'll be
Yeah, that
great
would be
for the audio portion.
fantastic.
But here's what I've been doing: when I'm editing the video, like I don't have my new computer, so I'm not using the Adobe suite yet. I'm still doing it in iMovie until I get a new computer again. So
Your second
my
new
second
computer?
new computer, yeah. So I turn your volume up 400% because that's all that it allows me to do
Jeez.
in iMovie.
And then and then when you come back again, you end up like boosting it
And then,
again.
and then I have to edit our thing together, but I can't add the graphics until I pull it back in and then add our banner in the middle on another editing, and then I boost that up 400%, and you still are soft. So I don't know what it is.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not talking softly,
No.
but I'm also not really projecting.
It sounds
because,
great now.
You know, people are trying
Yeah,
to sleep.
Whatever. Sleep. It's what time is it there? Oh, geez, it's 9:00. Okay.
Small
So-
children.
Small children. How was your week in the fishbowl? In the fishbowl.
Well, let's see here. I am completely caught up on The Walking Dead,
All right.
so I got nothing to watch until February.
Yep.
So no, it's a lot of sitting around twiddling your thumbs, waiting for shit to heal, and trying to find ways to entertain yourself. So I've sketched out I was originally planning on doing a cart for my son's Legos because he's huge into Legos right now. And then I thought to myself, I said, what if you just did a built-in, same kind of idea, but it doesn't have to always be for Legos. Like you could repurpose it into any kind of storage, just be a storage solution for his room because he has virtually none. So I've started kind of sketching that out and figuring out what it's going to take to build that. I have a cutting board I'm working on so I can list it on Etsy and get that listing up there. What else? Oh, I just launched today on, what is it? October 23rd when we're recording this. Coasters are now live on my Etsy shop. So go check those out. Or just order something, anything. So I know it's actually out there. Like Etsy keeps telling me people are visiting the shop, but nobody's doing anything there.
What about all those
So
coupons you're sending out?
if somebody were to favorite something, they would be getting a coupon. Or if they were to buy something, they would also be getting some sort of surprise, possibly a coupon.
So
So,
basically, at work,
I don't
you've
know.
just worked on your Etsy stuff and designing stuff
Yeah,
for
so
your
that's
shop.
for
Well, yeah.
the house, and then one of the cool things about homeschooling the kids is we're able to do things like practical skills, like teach them math in a sense where it relates to money, or we're able to go, hey, you're going to go out into the shop with Dad and you're going to build something. So this week we built boxes, and they still have some finishing stuff to do because we ran out of time because we had parties to get ready for, and martial arts belt graduations, and the last game of fall ball. Thank God that's over, and all kinds of fun stuff. So the kids got to go out there. They got to use different types of joinery for the corners of the boxes. So my daughter, who's younger than my son, she just we just did some very simple mitered corners, and then we cut out panels to slide into grooves that were cut into the walls of our boxes, so that she has a lid and a bottom. So all that's left on hers is we just need to resaw the lid off. And then my son, we used box joint to get it all together, and we decided, hey, instead of building the jig and spending most of our time doing that, let's just draw it out, and then we'll cut it on the bandsaw. Because the bandsaw, I feel like, is low-key enough to where it's not super intimidating, and it's something that I feel comfortable with him, using with me right there. And he did fine with it, so he had fun doing that. Our joints on that are a little...
Well, it's hard to...
a little off. Yeah. But they all came out looking really good. His, we still have to put a bottom on, and then we're going to use the router to put like a little chamfer on the bottom of the lid, so it doesn't look like it's actually on the bottom there.
So I haven't made a bandsaw box
pretty much
yet.
my week.
And it sounds like you're making a bandsaw box.
Well, they have like all these bandsaw box things that are just super intricate that maybe someday he'll graduate, or maybe someday I'll graduate too.
Yeah,
but we're still a ways away from that.
I'd like to make one myself. Maybe one of these days.
Yeah. Yeah, so when this is all said and done, they'll each have something that they can walk away with and have and say, like, hey, I made that.
In my shop class at home school.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's see.
So funny thing, when you set up a homeschool, you have to name it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you have to give it some sort of name. So I may have named it the School of Hard Knocks.
Is that your legal name for the school?
Yeah, I think so. That's the name of the school.
That's what it's registered under? That's hilarious. I would have done School of Rock. That's just me.
Yeah, I feel like there probably would have been some sort of like trademark.
No, because you're not advertising.
I don't feel like fighting Jack Black's lawyers.
Yeah. There's actually, in the last city I lived in, the neighboring city next to that, called Naperville, Illinois. It's a big city. They actually opened a School of Rock shortly after the movie. Yeah, it's awesome. Very cool. I don't know if they had to pay, if that was something that Jack Black like owns, and then they pay a licensing fee or
royalty.
But they do have, they're popping up, or they had popped up all over the place, and they're called School of Rock, so it's pretty cool. One of my favorite movies.
So, Mike, how was your week?
It was great. I worked Monday through Friday. Again, not used to working 5 days in a row. And the first part of the week, I worked 3 to 11s. And then the chief came to me on, I don't even know what day it was now, said, hey,
Mike, I had a thought.
Do you think you can come in earlier? I'm like, why? I want to stay up late so I can go back to my midnight shift.
Now, why would I go and do a damn fool thing like that?
Well, you're not getting much, stuff at night. Like, I'm like, how about this? How about you put me back on my midnight shift, and I just work full 12-hour shifts, but on light duty? He said, no. I go, how about you let me work 7 p.m. to 3 in the morning? He said, no. I go, can't blame a guy for trying. So
it sounds like 3 to 11 is not that bad, huh?
Well, 3 to 11 wasn't that bad, and now I'm working 11 to 7. 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Because when he said, okay, come in at 11 to 7, and as he's walking out of my fishbowl, I said, all right, 11 at night till 7 in the morning. See you tomorrow. And he's like, he had to stop dead in his tracks, and he's like, no. I'm like, I'm just kidding, Tom.
You shouldn't have said anything. You should have just started showing
at
up
11 p.m.
at 11 p.m. Like, what? It made sense to me because I work midnight.
What sucks is, what was cool working the 3 to 11s was I still get to see the day shift guys for half for half of my shift. And then I get to see my guys, my shift, like a couple of days a week when I'm working 7 to 11, the second half. And now I just get to see the night guys. I see the night guys come in, and I'm sitting in the squad room as they're coming in, and then I leave. They start roll call. I sit through roll call, and then I go. So I don't get a chance to see them that often. But I handled 2 crash reports that came in, 2 walk-in crash reports, and a burglary report. So the burglary report was kind of funny. We have 2 storage unit facilities in our town of the same brand name storage facility. And they're very public, and they have storage. Not going to say the name.
I have 2 of those in my district.
Okay. So I always thought that their motto should be where burglars love to shop. Because we get a shitload of burglaries, and I'm sure you guys do too. So this lady came in, and she said, I want to file a report, because some of my stuff was stolen. And she's a teacher, and she stores stuff in the storage unit that they donate books and toys and stuff. And it was that time of the year that she was coming to collect all of her stuff. So the first time they unlocked their door, which they have a storage facility lock they bought from the storage facility, which I always frown upon, no other lock. They opened the overhead door, and some boxes were tipped over. And they thought, they must have fallen. That's odd. They must have fallen down. And she said to me there was a T-shirt up on the ceiling. On the ceiling. T-shirt. Now, in these storage units, they're separated by corrugated metal, right? Walls. And then at the top of the wall, there's maybe 2 feet before the ceiling. They don't go all the way up to the ceiling. And then there's beams that run through in the storage facility, not in the hallway part. But so there was a T-shirt up there. And she thought, that's odd. And then they left. They didn't check anything.
That too is odd.
And then they came back 2 weeks later, which was last week. And they opened the storage unit, once again, with a lock and the key. And they opened the storage unit, and there were more boxes tipped over. There were donuts, a box of donuts, juice boxes on the floor, clothes everywhere. And then they thought, maybe we should look into our shit and see if anything's missing. So whoever's getting in there is coming over the walls, and there was more clothes up high.
And just living in there?
I guess they're having a party. Maybe it's Dirty Mike and the boys. They're leaving donuts and juice boxes. But this time they did steal $400 worth of kids' toys and books.
Oh, that's a special kind of shit.
I told them to put a price on it, and she said, about $400. I'm like, all right. So that was the other report I took. So that was my week, right? It was really slow. And then when they say, can you come in at 11? Because then you can help the girls in records and stuff. I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't want to do that. I'm not a secretary. So
I don't want to help the girls in records.
So the first day didn't help. Nothing came in. I worked on the podcast stuff. My friends would come in. I got you and me up on the screen on the computer. Everyone's listening. We're all laughing. And then on Friday...
Who's that good-looking guy on the screen with you, Mike?
That's what I got.
That's Grogu.
Yeah. And then on Friday, my boss, my buddy who just became a lieutenant, he goes, hey, Mike, early in the morning, or as soon as he came in, I'm in at 11. He comes in at like 11:15 off the street, and he's like, hey, I need you to do something for me. I'm like, okay. And he hands me a stack of paper. And our RMS system, report management system, for people that don't know, that we write our reports in, it kicks out these reports that have validation errors. So when we write our report, you're supposed to click validate, and if anything's wrong, I'm sure you guys have the same thing. It'll kick it out. But somehow...
Gives you a laundry list of what you screwed up.
Yeah, or does it, because he goes, here's a list. I need you to go to every one of these reports that are on here and fix all these issues with each one. I'm like...
Wait, you got to fix that?
He goes, do you know how to do the NIBRs? And I'm like...
How?
No. And he's like, all right, well, just take it and do it. I'm like, okay.
I'm sure you're a smart guy. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
And it's one of my good friends, so I'm like, of course, I'm like, I can't say no. One, I can't say no because he's my boss, and two, he's my good buddy. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. All fucking day, Brandon. Go to first report. The first report's from 2014. So much stuff has been expunged from the report. It says expunged, and then all these errors are in there that you can't change because everything's expunged where the errors were. So you can't.
So what's the problem? I'm sure the case has been adjudicated.
Yeah. So I walked back to his first one. I walked back to his office. I go, all right, this whole thing's fucked up already. I can't.
Here's
I
my 2
can't
weeks
change
notice. I'm
this.
done.
I can't change that. So then he comes up and looks at it, and he goes back. So we figure out, fuck it, can't change that one. On to the next. And I was able to fix, a few small things here and there. And one of my lieutenants who just retired, I found one of his reports, and he misspelled a bunch of words, so I fixed all that shit. But all fucking day, I did that from 11:30. Well, then, I got pizza, and then went to took my lunch hour to go get my new vest carrier made, or measured, which takes 4 weeks to make. And then I came back, and so probably about 6 out of the 8 hours I was just at the keyboard. And the deputy chief came in, and he goes, how's it going? And I had one issue. I had to actually call the software guy and ask him how to fix this. Because he goes, just call him up. And I'm like, that's not my job. I'm entering this shit or fixing it, but now it's my job to call up the software developer? He goes, I'll just call him.
I don't want to talk to people, guy.
Just call him up and say, oh, fuck. So I said, Joe, do you know how much this is cutting into my fucking podcasting stuff? I got podcast shit to do. He goes, really? And I'm like, come on, man. I got shit to do. So at the end of the day, I went back to my lieutenant's office. I go, here's your files. He goes, did you get them all done? I'm like, no, 6 hours. I got half the stack done. He goes, just finish it on Monday. So that's what's waiting for me on Monday.
So obviously this is very pressing.
It's very pressing. And it's depressing.
I would do one a day.
Just sit on that one all day. And then I'll have our podcast stuff up, and then I can't do it on the same screen though, so they'll catch me.
Hey, Joe, I don't know how to do this shit. You dumped this into my lap. I have no training in how to do this.
I'm not a secretary.
I'm doing the best I can here. One a day it's really taking it out of me. It's making my ankle hurt.
I'm mentally fried and my ankle hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, you should just tell me it's making my ankle hurt. All this walking back and forth is not good for the ankle.
I did go to therapy, and they extended the physical therapy.
Yeah. So what's wrong with you?
Oh, there's a long list.
Did you find yourself?
There's a long list. I got 6 more episodes or 6 more appointments of therapy added, but I don't think we'll get to them. My first one this week is going to be on Tuesday. So here's what I'm hoping. Because on a 12-hour schedule this upcoming week, I would only work Wednesday and Thursday. I'd be off Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm hoping I have therapy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Thursday I go, I feel really good. I should see the doctor today. I should be released today on Thursday. And then it allows me to stay up all Thursday night and start my day off rotation back to my midnight shift for Monday's preparation. So hopefully she's going to be having me jump and do all kinds of agility tests on Tuesday. I walked on the treadmill sideways, forward, backwards, sideways on each direction. And the sideways on the direction where my left foot, which is my bad ankle, was closest to the front of the treadmill, fucking hurt. So, yeah,
really?
That wasn't a good one. And so she's like, well, we'll see what happens on Tuesday. So we'll see. But I'm almost at the point where I just want to go back to work. But why should they get me back at 100% or less than 100%? They shouldn't.
Yeah, that's what a bunch of the old timers have been telling me, because I work on the senior side of our week, and all of them, to a man, told me when they found, because that you don't necessarily see the wrapping on the finger or the splint. They're like, "What's wrong with you?" I broke my finger. Like, don't come back to your 100%, dude. It's not worth it. So hopefully, when I go to the doctor this week, at the end of my week, she will do the little X-ray and go, all right, let's take the splint off and see how it does.
Because that'll be 5 weeks.
That will be 5 weeks. So that would be a week sooner than what she said. If not, then I'm going to have to wait 2 more weeks. And then she said she'll take the splint off, and then we can start doing stuff.
Do you lift like little baby weights with your finger when you go into rehab? Is that you're going to have like a string hanging in a washer, a lock washer?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to like balance first. I'm going to start with a Cheerio.
Right.
And then I'm just going to sit here and do like Cheerio curls.
You can't start too heavy.
So, no, you got to, I mean, I was considering starting with one of those little baby like puff snacks. Like start with that, then graduate to a Cheerio.
Smart man.
Then maybe like some Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and then by the time and hopefully like after, if that goes well, then maybe like Frosted Mini Wheats. Maybe curl those.
Don't.
So, what I've
Apple
been
jacks
doing
are
is-
really heavy, so don't go right for the
No,
apple
yeah,
jacks.
no, I'm not on steroids, Mike.
Good.
So, what I've been doing is kind of wrapping it above the middle knuckle so that I can start to bend it a little bit, just get used to that, because it's been pretty wrapped just to where the only knuckle that I can move is the one close, like on my hand, that third knuckle. So, just doing that and trying to get stuff, but it's been feeling pretty good. I mean, it's a little bit sore, but outside of that, it's been
good.
It's been a lot better.
Yeah, so that was my week. I don't really have, and I wasn't in the shop at all, obviously. So, wink, wink. And I actually wasn't.
No, because then that would be like fraud.
Right, because God forbid you walk around in your shop, walking slowly while you're on light duty with a bad ankle. I was just going to open up. Oh, so I wanted to tell you something. I was looking at my personal Marrazzo woodworking page. And remember I told you that we're the #1 English-speaking police officer woodworking
law enforcement
podcast in Russia?
In Russia, yeah.
I think I found our fan.
What?
Yeah, because he posted to my personal page, or my woodworking page, on one of my state of the shop pictures, from last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm looking it up now because I want to give you his name or his account's name.
I want to say Vladimir.
It's not Vladimir. You know what?
It's Vladimir, isn't it?
Vladslav. It's underscore Vladislav.grk. So how did you guess that? Anyways,
because you said it was Russian.
He wrote something in Russian, 3 words, and
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know what.
Did you translate it?
It took a team of experts in my house.
Really? There was no translate button?
No,
at
there
the
wasn't.
At the bottom of the comment?
Yeah,
oh,
right.
Shit.
So I copied it, and then I went on Google Translate, and I put it in Google Translate from Russian to English, and it didn't do shit. And that would repeat it for me. It would say the words, but it wasn't writing it out for me. So then my wife's trying to do it on her iPhone, and then my son goes, let me see it. So he takes a picture of it on my phone. He takes a picture with his phone of the post, and he sends it to his friend in Russia. He has a friend in Russia who happened to be up. I think they're 7 hours ahead of us, so it had to be like 3 a.m. his time. And then he wrote something back for he asked Hunter, my son, what does your dad want to say to him? Well, first, my dad wants to know what he said. So he said...
First, we got to figure out what this means.
He said, sorry about your computer. He must be listening to the show and knows my computer broke.
Huh.
So I said to Hunter, tell him to write, thank you very much, and thank you for supporting the show, and thank you for listening, and I'm waiting on a new computer. And then he sent me back a whole bunch of letters and all different... I don't even know what they mean. He sent it back to Hunter. Hunter copied it into a text, sent it to me, and I posted it. So, and then he said he put the 3 quotations at closed quotation marks at the end because he said Russians like that. So hopefully he's not setting me up for.
So 3 of the quotation marks, and
at the
that's
end.
That's a
At the
good
end,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, 3 parentheses.
I'm sorry, 3 parentheses. Yeah, 3 parentheses at the end.
Oh, because it's like smiles.
Maybe, yeah. So Russians like that. So I wanted to thank Vladislav.
Look at us. Look at us repairing international relations between the U.S.
That's right. I hope
and
he
Russia.
wasn't too offended by all your Russian stuff.
Hey. In Soviet Russia, words translate you.
Had some good feedback on my my post of my bathroom remodel so far. So
it was looking good.
It is looking good, man. I can't wait to actually take a shit in there. I'm tired of getting up in the middle of the night and walking to the hallway for a bathroom. That sucks.
Yeah, that would be really annoying.
Sucks. And now that we're redoing the guest room, there's no curtains on those windows, and you can see right in from the street. So
they can watch you take a shit?
Well, they can watch you walk to the bathroom if you don't have any, just in your, what do you call it, shorts or whatever.
Yeah, just walk in there scratching
I
as you
keep telling
walk.
everyone, keep your towel on as you go into the shower because the neighbors across the street can see you. There's no, blinds on the window.
Or maybe give them something to talk about.
No, that's okay. We don't want to scare anybody.
I don't know.
So I don't. That was work, and I don't have anything in the shop except I think I spoke. Was it during our live or on the pre-show about the vanity is in for the bathroom, and I bought a 2x10 vent, a floor vent that I'm going to cut into the toe kick on the front of the vanity because the vanity will be sitting directly on top of the floor vent because of the poor craftsmanship of the house.
Yeah, you were saying that in the on the old Instagram.
So now it's a 48-inch vanity, and I don't want the air just to swirl around randomly under 48 inches. So I'm going to take some poplar and some pocket holes, and I'll just pocket hole it underneath the vanity and make a channel that way.
Why not just take some like scrap plywood?
Well, I've got all that too. I got plywood, poplar, and MDF. I got all kinds of stuff to choose, but
dude, you said
MDF.
I
also have some
MDF is cheap.
I think I have some scrap melamine, and that's what this fucking vanity's made out of too. This melamine.
There you go.
You know what, Brandon? I'm so mad that I got this vanity that I paid with a countertop. It's got a marble countertop. It was like $700. Whatever, $680. And it's made of melamine. It pisses me off because if I had time, I already made 2 bathroom vanities. If I had the time, I would have made the third one, but I just didn't have the time this time.
We gotta figure that countertop. Because you said it's made out of marble,
right? Yeah, the countertop's marble.
Well, there's your cost.
Yeah, that's most of it.
There's your cost.
It's fucking heavy.
Yeah, well, I would hope so.
But still, I've bought marble countertops. Well, one marble and then one Corian type for the last 2 vanities I built.
I'm just going to use epoxy and make it look marble.
I wanted to try that too. I'm just running out of time.
Well, I'll let you know how it goes because I'm going to do the entire kitchen.
Right. What are your projects going on in the shop right now? Oh, wait. Before we get to that, we have to finish the law enforcement portion by doing our fallen officers.
Okay.
What was that?
I didn't know if people
can read.
We're going to be curious about why.
Well,
does Brandon have
gun rules for dummies? Brandon has
behind him
on a whiteboard behind him. What's the number one rule on that? First of all, Brandon, why do you have that sign in your home school?
So, I mean, we have guns in the house, right? I mean, a fair amount of Americans do, but we do partially because law enforcement. I grew up in a hunting household, so kind of the joke is like in The Mandalorian, guns are part of my religion. So, and I was taught from a very young age, like the basics of firearm safety, and I should have written a 5th one there, but I knew it wasn't going to really fit to where I would be able to show it for the YouTube audience. But apparently, some things that you would consider pretty common sense aren't so common. So, over this past weekend, the actor Alec Baldwin, who is not a fan of guns, some would say not a fan of police, based on some of his tweets. That's the great thing about the internet, is that when you put it out there, it's kind of there forever.
It doesn't go away.
When you do something really stupid, it really comes back to bite you in the ass. So, unfortunately, he was handed what he thought was a prop gun, and I really hate that word or that term, prop gun. Okay, I've fired blanks before. I fired them out of a fully functional, my duty weapon. So the difference between this prop gun and a real gun is the ammunition. So this actor, Alec Baldwin. Baldwin or Baldwin?
I don't know if he's a bald one.
Because he wasn't winning. No. He had one. No longer is winning. He took this firearm pointed it at somebody and pulled the trigger. Now, I don't know if he was shooting a scene or what. I don't know the entire circumstances. But for some reason, he decided to point the gun at somebody and pull the trigger, and bang! And then a projectile came out. Killed a 42-year-old cinematographer, married mother, and seriously wounded the director. So I thought, just because, hey, not everyone is a fan of the firearms or handles them on a regular basis like Mike and I do, I thought it was important to maybe go over some of these, what I consider very basic rules for firearm safety.
And what are they? What's
Like-
number one?
Like, hey, treat every firearm like it's loaded.
We need a bell.
And like, side note on that, if somebody hands you a gun, check it. See if it's loaded.
They don't know how.
Then you shouldn't. We'll get
Right.
we'll get to that one. It's
Right.
down here. And then after you treat it like it's loaded, don't point your gun at anything that you're not willing to kill. That is a side effect of being shot
Or shooting.
or shooting. So then we get down to positively identify your target, which translates to know what the fuck you're pointing the gun at, right? Then put the gun down if it makes you feel uncomfortable, okay?
You have to write the MK in there. I love that.
Yeah, I have to write the okay. And one side one that, I was told all the time by firearms instructors from the military, the civilian world, law enforcement. It's a really kind of catchy saying. Keep your booger picker off the bang switch until it's time to shoot the gun.
Never heard that one.
Really? You've never heard keep your booger picker off the bang
No.
switch? No?
No, it's funny though.
Yeah. So, just public service announcement because, Alec Baldwin's got more stateside kills than most of the United States military.
I was reading some of the tweets, which is always fun to do when it doesn't involve you.
Yeah.
And someone said that I didn't know the director or the cinematographer had any connection to the Clinton emails. Or something like
Oh yeah, that was
like
one.
that.
That was one of the memes I saw. Was a tweet from her saying like, "I have information that will lead to the arrest of the Clintons." Like that's messed up. That's so. The memes, yes, we're making light of it because it's very ironic that somebody that is so anti-gun
Yeah.
is shooting,
And
producing,
anti-police.
yeah, and starring in a movie involving guns,
Right.
and then said person accidentally kills somebody with a
Just
gun.
horrible.
Like,
But it's
yeah, let's not lose sight of the fact that a 42-year-old mom and wife was just killed. So, but the memes have been absolutely fantastic.
not too soon.
Not too soon. Not too soon. That's how most of the people who do very serious things for a living, like actually deal with it, is by making
Right.
jokes. So I know we've said that before, but even when it doesn't directly happen to you, it's kind of how you process some of this stuff. Like some people cry.
Right.
People like us make jokes. I don't make memes. I am not what you would call a meme lord.
I don't even have a meme app on my phone anymore. I used to.
Well, I don't have a meme app. I just go to like Facebook and Instagram. It's great.
Yeah. While you were talking about that, I forgot I had 2 stories.
Oh, jeez.
We can save them for next week. Which will be I think this will be a good time to talk about our schedule as we wind down 2021.
Yeah, let's bring everybody into
and
the loop.
we wind down season 1 of the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast. we were going to discuss maybe doing 2 episodes a month for the last 2 months because Christmas is coming and Thanksgiving is coming. So for those of you that listen weekly, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. But we have a question. We are going to ramp down. So would you just prefer we do 1 show in November, 2 shows in November, and then none in December, or 2 and 2, or just 2 shows left, 1 a month? So that's a question for
I think 2 and 2. I think that would be good because, I mean, let's face it, Mike. The people have been spoiled.
Every week, 28 weeks, baby. This is episode 28.
Weekly shows. Shows where they've gotten to listen to our voices, and now they can see our shiny faces.
Most of the time.
So I think if we go down to just 1 in November and 1 in December, it's like people are going to be jonesing.
Okay.
Especially David Franklin. Like, let's face it.
Superfan
is going to be he's going to be jonesing real hard. So I don't want to do that.
That sounds good. Just so everyone knows, then we will do 2 in November. We got 1 more next week. And wait, what is the end of this week? Yeah.
And if we have time, we can still do Instagram Lives each week.
Right. I have to actually start making GIFs. Not GIFs of like animated pictures.
Oh, not the phone
GIFs. GIFTS.
Oh, with a T.
Gifts.
With a T at the end.
Yes, I have to make a few. Well, I'd like to make a number of flags for friends and stuff for gifts and some other stuff. So I got to get on that stuff. And I can't be spending 3 days doing podcast stuff when I should be in the shop.
Yeah, yes, Mike and I love doing the podcast, and it's a great outlet for us. But the number one thing that both of us do is we do woodworking, and it's a source of income for us. It is each of us has a business. And this is the busy time of the year for our businesses, no matter how small they are, Mike.
Size doesn't matter.
All businesses matter. Small business matters.
Micro business matters.
Micro.
So
nano. In my case, nano business matters.
I still have to do a darn post for that deco drill. So, and I've got more for base camp masks. I just haven't been able to release any because of my predicament.
Sell out.
Mike Rose said, "You're damn right. I sold out." That's they call him a sellout.
And I don't blame you.
Yeah. So, if Mike Rowe can do it, I can do it. Me and my measly small IG account. Thank you very much for those who have logged on and followed me lately. I appreciate it.
I like how you like to tote that you're such a small page.
It is.
And such a small business. It's bigger than mine. Of the two of us, I am the small one. I am the unknown here.
No, you're very well known.
I feel like you're very well known throughout the community. And I'm kind of the wild card.
The wild card. Look out for Brandon.
I'm the new guy.
Hey, speaking of that, exciting news.
What, wild cards or new guys?
New guy. This new guy. I'm actually going to Workbench Con this year. I'm so excited. I wish you could come this year. We will be together there next year because you already said next year you're going.
Yes, I am committing to 2023 Workbench
Oh, man,
Con.
so exciting. It was really hard to push the buy the ticket button because it's kind of...
Yeah, that thing was...
It's pricey.
Because I was thinking, like, you know what? Let me just go double check. Because I remember looking earlier, I'm like, man, that's... Whew.
Yeah, luckily I have some money saved.
I tricked myself into thinking, oh, maybe it's not that bad. And I looked at it and went, no, yeah, it's that bad. And then I got to do airfare, I got to do hotel.
Yeah, what's cool is the airfare is like $127 round trip for me.
Yeah, I gotta fly cross
you have
country,
to fly cross country, so it's actually not bad for me. So my wife's gonna go with. We have friends down in Georgia, in Atlanta. She's gonna go just hang out with them. But
cool.
When Joey found out that I was coming down there, he offered me to stay at his house. Yeah,
that's awesome.
We'll be staying at Joey's house. Joey, who is our Matt Damon, we never had enough time to get on the show. We joked about it the first 4 or 5 episodes.
Matt Damon.
Joey Mayberry.
I cannot hear that name and not think of Team America.
So Joey, who's been on our IG lives and big supporter of the show and part of our little police chat group, said, I got a few spots open for anyone that's coming down to Atlanta that can stay at the house. And I'm like, how about myself? And he's like, in. So
I volunteer as tribute.
yeah, because he's going. So that'll be fun. I can just ride there with him and hang out at his house. And it's on my birthday weekend. It actually opens on my birthday, the day of the open.
That's awesome.
So it'll be fun. I put a question on our H&S IG page. If there's someone that you'd like us to interview, set up an interview while I'm down there. We'll do that and see if we can't get some. I'd like to get Jason Bent on the show. He's talking there, and we chatted back and forth quite a bit, like almost 2 years ago when he was really small and I was, I had 300 people in my IG account, but he had made some blue epoxy striped coasters like you're selling, not the blue ones, but you are selling coasters on your Full House Woodworking.
I am selling
Etsy
coasters.
page. So I had commented to him that they looked like the Thin Blue Line, and then we picked up a conversation there and then started chatting all the time. Haven't talked to him much lately.
Army guy.
Yeah, and he's retiring soon, I think, and he just moved up to Indiana.
Yeah.
So I want to see if I can't corner him and
Trap
him and get him on the show. That'd be fun. That would be a nice get for the show because he's one of my favorite
be a big get for us.
YouTube guys and just a fan.
U-time
YouTube,
guys?
YouTube. One of my favorite guys on the YouTube. If I saw April Wilkerson there, I don't even know if she's going to be there. She's not one of the speakers, I don't think. Or Jay
I'm sure
Jay
she might
Bates,
be there.
I would lose my shit. Those three. I'd be like, like fanboy in it, Yeah. So looking at the list, they tell you when you buy your ticket, after you sell your first child to pay for the ticket.
Yeah. See, I just celebrated the birth of my first child, and he and I have grown quite attached, so
Well,
it might be tough.
Well, you have three, so you can pick out the least liked one.
Yeah, I kind of like them all. They're expensive and a pain in the ass, but I like them. They're fun.
They are. So there's a checklist. You start filling out when you buy your ticket. There's questions like, what's your website page? What's your Instagram handle? What's your YouTube handle? How many subscribers on Instagram do you have? How many subscribers on YouTube do you
That's
have?
an awfully personal question.
I'm like, I'm filling this shit out. I'm like, what? Okay, 840 fucking YouTube subscribers. Yay. Going on and on. And they're going to put me in a room with like two people. All right, all you people that have, less than this many people, you're in this room over here. And we got Joe, the traveling duck salesman, is going to come in and talk to you about how to make duck boxes, whatever those are. So, whatever. I looked at the rundown. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of meals, the breakfast, there's dinners, there's speakers. So, I don't know where I'm going to go or what I'm going to see yet, except I've had a bunch of people hit me up and go, hey, we're going to be there. Let's catch up. So, that'll be fun. And then they tell you, make sure you have T-shirts, business cards, stickers, all that kind of stuff. So I ordered new stickers for the new woodworking logo. So those are coming soon from Sticker Beat. I bought 3 wholesale T-shirts from a wholesaler. I want to see how they feel. I wanted a 50-50. And then I bought some sports fitting ones or, dry fit ones. My daughter says they make a special vinyl for dry fit. That because I want to do my shirts on dry fit too.
Yeah.
So I bought 3 shirts from a wholesaler and set up a wholesaler account. And I want to try and make some shirts here. And then I'm just about ready to build the website. I'm going to be hiring someone to do that because after 2 weeks of fucking around with it and not having any fucking clue what I'm doing, I'm just going to pay somebody. So that's where I'm at.
You should see if you could find somebody that's taken like a web design class and like, here, you need experience.
What sucks is
I'll pay you in thanks.
Oh, I just heard the car horn. Did I?
Yeah, at this
there
point,
it is.
I'm not even going to check. Yeah, I'm not even going to check at this point.
Someone's picking up their date. So my website was supposed to be built by a buddy who I traded. I made flags for his giveaway, and the payment was going to be a website built. Never worked out. So, my fault for not following up more than twice.
Yeah.
More than twice.
You live, you learn.
I don't know how many times I got to say it, but I didn't follow up more than 2 times. So that would be 3 total.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be like insanely precise. Because I'm one of those people of like, I'm not going to beg you to do something.
You say you're going to do it.
If you're going to say you're going to do it, I take you at your word. I understand things get busy and stuff, and I'll drop a reminder here and there. But for the most part, like if you're not going to do it, then I just kind of go, hey, well, I guess he's an asshole.
Yeah, whatever.
Or she's an asshole. She's can be assholes
yes, they
too.
Can.
We don't discriminate
they
here.
They can be. They have them. Maybe be bleached. I don't know.
Everyone's got one, and they all stink.
Topic for a different day.
That's a whole different show.
So that's that's woodworking, that's police working, and we'll do stories next week. How's that?
That works for me. I'm not going to have any stories this week because I'm going to be sitting there.
Yeah,
just
me too. But I have a couple good stories, national stories, and then something that happened here in Chicago I really wanted to discuss. So it can hold. So
I have a good news story that can wait.
Almost didn't.
A little bit.
Oh.
No, it's a good one too. I'll tell you about it once we're done recording. But it's a fun one.
All right, cool. Looking forward to hearing it in about 5 minutes. Do you have anything?
Also, we need to talk about it because not the story that I'm going to bring up, but there's one. I'll bring it up now, and then we can talk about it next week. Because it's kind of the elephant in the room, I think, nationally for law enforcement, and it's the vaccine mandate.
Yeah.
And that there are cops, doctors, EMTs, firefighters, they're all losing their jobs right now.
And nurses.
Yeah, the nurses one just blows my mind. Like we're in a pandemic where everyone's afraid the healthcare system is going to get overrun, and we're firing nurses and doctors. I'm not a smart man, but that math don't add up. So we can talk about that next week because I'm pretty sure we could do a whole show on that.
Yeah, we have a few. One of the things in Chicago that had something to do with that I wanted to talk about too. So, all right, cool. Hey, Brandon, don't forget that
Mike.
New episodes of the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast are available on your favorite podcast platform on Wednesdays with the YouTube video sometime after that.
Usually close by. Within a day or two. And if you're watching on YouTube, I think it's right about here.
Yeah, down there in the corner.
All right? There's a little thumbs up button. If you could just smash it, just click it. One time, just one click. One good click. Does nothing, costs you nothing, helps us out. And then somewhere over here, might even be way over there, there's a little button that says subscribe. If you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, then click the subscribe button. And if you want to be the first one to know what's going on, click the bell, ring it, ding-a-ling-a-ling, and then click all. And then every time we drop either a pre-show or a regular show
or a bonus show.
Or a bonus show.
We might do live from Workbench Con. At least one of us.
Well, not this year.
Well, no, I might still.
The whole thing will be Mike live from Workbench Con, and then me just sitting here in the homeschool area just like this.
When I edit the video, and just a picture of you with the finger up, flipping me the bird.
You son of a bitch.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting to bring this up. I want to thank everybody. You guys have been so supportive the last few weeks. Everywhere I go, people are screaming, "Let's go, Brandon!" You have my self-esteem right now
so high
is through the freaking roof. There's T-shirts being made.
Flags. I saw flags. Some of my flag-making buddies are making
flags
flags that say "Let's go, Brandon."
It's fantastic.
Which I should take a note of.
You guys have no clue. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but I just want everybody to know.
Our fans are awesome.
It's really appreciated.
Now, if we could get a "Let's go, Mike,"
you would think that we would have more subscribers.
They're coming.
Right?
They're coming. Let's go, Brandon.
Maybe they just keep typing out "and" instead of clicking or putting the little ampersand.
Maybe.
I
had to actually Google that because I missed it.
Keep it up. I'm feeling great.
The whole story, and I had to go back and look and see what the fuck is this? Are they talking about? That chick had it.
Oh, have you seen that clip
of how it all started?
No, I understand what she was trying to do because it was a live interview after, I think it was a NASCAR truck race where the driver who won, his name was Brandon. But you can very clearly hear the background crowd not saying, "Let's go, Brandon."
That's hilarious.
But she tried to save it, and you could tell that she did not buy what she was selling. She's like, and the crowd chanting, "Let's go, Brandon."
I have to watch the video.
She's stumbling all over. So oh my God, it's hilarious. I'll have to see if I can find it for you.
See, they're all chanting your name.
But I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Makes me feel good.
Anything else?
If you have questions,
yes,
we like to answer questions. I mean, somebody needs to give David Franklin a break.
That's right.
I mean, he can only ask so many. But if you have one, you can just record a little voice memo and email it to handcuffs&sawdustpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can send Mike a DM over at Marrazzo Woodworking now. No longer MM Midnight Banker, just Marrazzo Woodworking. Or you can send me a DM over at Full House Woodworking. We'd love to hear from you.
All right. That is it. That wraps up episode 28. So for Brandon, say goodbye. For Mike, say peace out.
Goodbye, Brandon.
Goodbye, Brandon. Goodbye, Mike. Stay safe on the streets and in the shop. Peace.
Peace, deuces. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.